Hi, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Saemi and Jung. I'm a former financial journalist turned media and communication scholar, currently doing my PhD here in Vancouver, Canada. I basically talk about everything from career, work, as well as my PhD journey. Today I want to bring you guys back to where I was about 2 years ago from now. I was going through a rock bottom of my self-esteem during my PhD application period. That was the time that I was figuring out my new life and decided to pursue my dream, which was to deepen my knowledge and also actually make differences in the systems that we're in. So when I pursued my PhD, I was 35 years old and I left my six-figure job as a financial journalist. The reason why I decided to leave everything and move on to academia, unfortunately, as a female news anchor, I felt like my full potential was reached and the network was not going to give me any more than what I was given. And the kind of role and the ability to be able to speak more and about the things that I really wanted to do in terms of programs and whatnot, I didn't have so much say in it. So for me, 여성 리더로서 인정받는 것, to be recognized as a leader in the industry, for me, that was to pursue a PhD. And it's funny because when I was applying to different programs, I was in contact with one of the PhD students back then, who was now a professor at NYU. She was a PhD student at Stanford then. And when I asked her, oh, why did you pursue PhD? And she said the same thing, that as a female, not only just climb up the ladder, but to have that recognition and also have the power to do what you believe in and what you want to change. So for me, that was the main purpose. But secondly, I also wanted to be in an international setting. I wanted to be in a bigger pond than a smaller one. I, of course, loved my job as a financial news anchor. I still miss the adrenaline from time to time, being on news desk. But I know that I grow when I'm challenged, and to be able to see bigger things in a bigger perspective with a bigger lens in a bigger world. Of course, that means that more pressure and a lot of harder things will come to you. But I knew that for me, I could see that my life becomes so much more enriching when I'm in the international setting. So how hard do you work? I mean, this is an interesting question because I've always worked hard. I've always worked hard, not because of the goal that I was running towards, but mostly because I've grown to love the process of reaching towards those goals and visions. For me, I really enjoy the process. Of course, academia doesn't always operate that way. It pressures you to produce more work, more publications. You're always pressured in this capitalistic setting that you have to produce and produce and produce, almost like a machine. But at the end of the day, when you can really enjoy and genuinely enjoy those processes, it can really create something that nobody else can create. So that's the kind of vision that I have when I do my work and when I approach my work. And I think that's how I'm not burned out yet, and I'm really enjoying my whole research process. But another thing that I've been talking about with my loved one is that there's time for everything. Even in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it talks about how 하나님이 모든 것을 지으시되 때를 따라 아름답게 하셨고, and also like from chapter 3 verse 1 to 8, 천하의 범사가 기한이 있고 모든 목적이 이룰 때가 있나니 날 때가 있고 죽을 때가 있으며 심을 때가 있고 심은 것을 뽑을 때가 있으며 죽일 때가 있고 치료시킬 때가 있으며 헐 때가 있고 세울 때가 있으며 울 때가 있고 웃을 때가 있으며 슬퍼할 때가 있고 춤출 때가 있으며. Every season there is a time for everything. And so in my teenage years, I used to practice in this tiny practice room, playing the piano, perfecting my piano skills. And then in my 20s, I used to work my ass off, trying to figure out what my dreams are and what kind of profession I should go into. I thought that I would go into law school before I figured out that I really wanted to do journalism, broadcasting work. So it was that navigation time, trying to dip my feet in many different waters, test the water, and what I really like and what I'm really good at. And then in my later 30s, now that I am turning 37, gosh, I can't believe it, I'm turning 7 this year, I'm working hard to the point where my body can tolerate, I think as you grow older, there is certainly a limit to how much your body can tolerate, and it's also very important that you keep your mental health and physical health healthy, and your spiritual health also very healthy. That's your responsibility. No one else is going to do it for you. And how I approach personal growth, well, when you're young, it is important to read up a lot of self-help books, I think, because other stories about others who have done different things, interesting things in life, and good things in life. It certainly gives you inspirations and widens your perspective as to how to live your lives. There are so many ways to live life, but oftentimes it is unfortunate in the context of South Korea, there seems to be a cookie-cutter answer to how to live. You always feel pressure to get into a good school, and then you get married to a nice person, you have children, and you live your life, period. And now with all the digital platforms that are out there are so many people who feel pressured to flaunt, their such lives, or wanting to convince others or to the world that their self-worth can be only proved by their Instagram page. But the ones who are really satisfied with their lives, they don't even care about those things because they're already busy living their lives. And I think that's the stage where I am at right now. You don't need an Instagram to feel self-worth. Actually, I love not having Instagram because Instagram got to the point where it's become such a marketing tool to sell stuff. It's just so much healthy for me not having that platform. Of course, there are many people who would like to get engaged in a different platform rather than YouTube, but I mean, that's just my personal choice so far. But I think once you get into your 20s, what you really need to and what you really want to develop yourself is the kind of critical thinking that would allow you to make meaningful choices and meaningful actions in life, and build your own philosophy as to how you're going to live your life, because nobody is going to tell you how to do it. And I think a lot of people who worry about, am I doing well at this stage of my life? What does it mean to become an adult? I think there's no end point to growth in life, and there's only growing a little by little. And there are a lot more nuggets of wisdoms I would like to share, but that will be followed up in the next video. I always thank you so much for watching and also rooting for my PhD journey, because it really means the world to me to have shifted my career so many times. At the end of the day, I really want to express my truest and best self through the form of the work that I do, that also manifests good values and social justice in this world. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll come back with more, and stay tuned.